What
Yeah.
does like the kind of new market like launch or kind of expansion playbook look like for you guys?
Yeah. So while I'm chatting with you guys, I'll pull something up for you so that you can see what our like new market kind of criteria has been because we're actively thinking through it right now. Um, but what I will tell you is whenever we were first launching into new markets, I would tell you that we significantly over-engineered this thing. And because what we started out with doing, and what I'm going to show you here is we honed in on like 10 different criteria that we think are indicative of a healthy market. And those criteria for us would be things like what's the search volume in that market, what's the population size, how many days of rain do they get, because that affects our ability to operate. What is the average number of vehicles per household? New York's got a lot of people, but low vehicles per household, right? And then we're also looking at like average technician earnings per number of technicians per capita, so number of technicians per thousand people, as well as the average technician earnings. So that's going to give us some like supply side health metrics. And then what we ultimately did was like assigned all of those normalized them and assigned them all a Z-score, and it gave us this really pretty, kind of like ranking of our market. So again, these are the different criteria that we were looking at, and then we assigned them weighted averages. And so every single market got a score, and then ultimately an overall model score, and we ranked them. Um, Here's what I would tell you about this is, when you're like raising capital and an investor or somebody asks the exact question that Mike just asked, like it's a great answer, actually. It's very, in depth and thoughtful. And there's clearly like, you have a way of a method to your madness. In reality, like, how do we know that, these things are as we think they are? How do we know that this population change, for example, has a positive effect or a negative effect? The reality is you don't until you actually get into the market and start gathering your own data points. And so as we are thinking about actually reactivating those Florida markets that we pulled out of earlier that I mentioned, we're really simplifying things down. And like largely what we're looking at is, so search is a really big acquisition channel for us. And so we're definitely using search as a very significant influence on where we are going to go next. And then we're looking at competition, and then we're looking at like how much our technicians making, and can they make more by working with us, and like and we're just leaving it at that. So that's what I just showed you was very over engineered. It sounds good, it can work, but until you actually know what works, you're totally guessing.